Hey folks, Jack from Moonshift Audio here, and this quick tutorial I'm going to show you how I made the Running Blades brass patch from my free Retro Serum Presets Pack. It sounds like this. This beautiful soaring brass sound is inspired by the classic soundtrack of Bladerunner, which has so many incredible synth sounds. Vangelis really made something special there. This patch, along with over 50 more basses, leads, keys and pads, are all available for free in my Retro Serum Presets Pack. If you want to download that, there's a link in the description, but for now let's jump into Serum. So here we are, we've got an initial instance of Serum, and we'll start by looking at the oscillators. So only one oscillator needed for this one. So I'm going to load in the Juno 60 saw, which I sampled from a real Juno here in the studio. This waveform is available for free in the Retro Serum Presets Pack. There's a link to that down below. We'll turn the unison up just a little bit to 3, just to thicken it up ever so slightly. Little bit of a beat on that. And that's it for the oscillator, nice and simple. So we'll head over to the filter, turn it on, and I was using, I think, the German low pass for this. I like this filter. It's just got a slightly different character to the stock low pass. We'll set the cutoff to about 950 Hertz. Let's just scoop out some of that sizzling high end. Lovely. And we'll want quite a lot of resonance on this, I think, because we're going to have that nice sweeping envelope along the filter. Yeah, that's nice. And we'll give it some drive, just to thicken it up. It's quite a saturated kind of sound that we're going for. We're going to modulate the fine tune on the oscillator up here, which is a classic thing to do if you're trying to get an analog sound. I often use a triangle wave, but in this case I think I'm going to go for a sine wave because I want to kind of feel the wobble a bit more intensely and less smoothly than you'd get with a triangle wave. So I'm just going to pull this up to the fine tune here. About 19 should be enough, 19 or 20. Don't want to go too wobbly. Yeah, lovely. And for this one I'm actually going to leave it synchronized. Every now and then I think it's nice to tie something into the BPM of your project. Obviously feel free to turn this off if you'd rather have it free flowing and dictate the speed of that LFO yourself. We're going to look at the envelope now. We only need one envelope for this patch. It's surprisingly simple, but a lot of the magic's in the effects. So quite a slow attack, about half a second, a bit more. Yeah. Before we go too far, I'm going to drag this also onto the filter here, so we get quite a lot. 34, 35. Yeah, nice. Just so we can hear even more clearly what we're doing with this. The decay, it doesn't actually matter how we have that set because we're going to leave the sustain on full, and we're going to give a really nice long release. So like a couple of seconds. So you can hear we're starting to get there now. But what we want to really kind of give this the character that it deserves is some quite judicious use of effects. So we're going to start off with some drive. Tube's great. Full mix. Yeah, that sounds nice. The big one, of course, is going to be reverb. Quite a big one. With a nice long decay. And I think for this one we're going to leave the lows in. I really want this to feel like it's in an enormous space. I mean, it's a kind of an outer space kind of vibe, so I think really go mad with the reverb on this one would be nice. The spin is fine as is. The high cut we can leave as well, and the mix I think we'll put about 40%. Yeah, nice and wet. On top of the reverb, i.e. after the reverb in the chain, I'm going to put a delay, and I'm going to set this to ping pong. Again, a quarter note sync is actually quite nice. We can probably leave the feedback here as well. That's not quite so much of that, but you can just hear the actual delay on the reverb there, giving you this really nice wash across left and right with the ping pong. We don't need to worry about the filter here. Just makes it lovely and wide. After that, we'll go for a chorus. Make sure we drag that down so that the actual chorus is working on that lovely reverb and delay tail. Rate's fine as it is. We'll pull the delays right the way down, and probably don't need to go quite as deep as that. Softening it up a bit, you can hear. And I think 50% mix is great. Last up, EQ. And what I want to do here is put a nice mid-range boost in at about like 1K. Yeah, close enough. This will just sort of make it sound a little bit telephonic. I'll make sure this is on a bell. I'll put 8 or 9 dB in maybe. Widen it up slightly. Just to compare that without. That 1K region is that sort of slightly telephonic area, but it also adds a lot of clarity, and it's a nice way of imparting a bit of vintage character to a sound by boosting it in that area. Do you know what? I think the D-tune was a bit too high there. And that's basically it. There you go. That's your Bladerunner style brass. That's lovely. If you found this video helpful, please do like and subscribe for more tips, tricks, resources and downloads from me at Moonshift Audio. Till next time.